Mid-table Oxford United went on to have 100 points in Sky Bet League 1, and their top scorer is Matty Taylor with 39 goals the entire season. I have delayed testing a 4-3-3 in FM 2023, but this is the first time we're going to release one of those tactics, and it's the HD Fire 4-3-3 for FM 2023. It's a 4-3-3 as well. I think I've said that like 5 times. I went on to test this tactic with Oxford United, Real Madrid, Birmingham City, and Royal Antwerp in Belgium. And 3 of these teams went on to win the title: Madrid, Antwerp, and Madrid, Antwerp, and Oxford United. I'm going to tell you what happened with Birmingham much later in the video. So if you're new to the channel, remember to hit the subscribe button so you can get notified when new tactic videos like this come up here on DarkHorse FM. With Oxford, let's look a little bit at their season in slight detail. Looking at the team stats for the Sky Bet League 1, they went on to dominate everything, like points per game, fewest shots against, most shots, most possession, not really, because the tactic is not really possession based, but fewest, most dribbles, a lot of running. Like I said, they had the highest amount of goals as well with 99, and then I think they had their goal difference of 62 or thereabout. Real Madrid, on the other hand, had Karim Benzema that went on to score 1 goal more than Matty Taylor in Sky Bet League 1, and Benzema had 40 goals, and then Madrid went on to win the La Liga title in, let's say, 37. They have played 37 games already, and they're already like miles above Barcelona. Barcelona has 74 points, Madrid has 90, Benzema has 40 goals. Looking at the competition, they won the Super Cup and then they won the Spanish Cup as well. They got knocked out by Manchester City in the quarterfinal. I see Pep Guardiola got his revenge in this game, and the knockout they got knocked out by Athletic Club Bilbao in the Spanish Cup. Okay, they won the Spanish Super Cup, sorry. The team stats in detail: Madrid went on to score less goals than Oxford, but I think Oxford played more games, so that's understandable. Madrid went on to score 88 goals, fewest shots against was Madrid, points per game 2.43, so slightly higher than what Oxford went on to rack up. Most possession was by Atletico Madrid, and you can see a similar trend with possession. 55% possession wasn't enough to take first in Spanish League. It means everybody's playing possession game in this league. What the hell? Before we look at Antwerp and Birmingham, let's go over the tactic in detail. Looking at the super keeper on support duty, no instructions attached to him. I do like the super keeper this year. Even in FM 2022, I noticed that super keeper on support was like my go-to role. The super keeper on defense was slightly more cautious, and I hardly ever used the standard goalkeeper on defend. But super keeper on support duty, no instructions. And then wing back on support duty as well: take more risks, dribble more, shoot less often, tackle harder, and sit narrower were the instructions for the right wing back, which is a wing back on support. The wing back on attack duty is the left wing back. He's been asked to take more risks, shoot less often, sit narrower, and tackle harder. You're going to see an identical instructions for football playing defenders, and they have been asked to dribble more, shoot less often, stay wider, and tackle harder. I noticed that this pair of instructions does work for the ball playing defender on Football Manager, even in FM 2022, so I kind of kept those in place. I didn't really alter them too much. For the defensive midfielder, he is on support duty and he has been asked to dribble more, shoot less often, and tackle harder. Is a defensive midfielder on support. The box-to-box midfielder is the central midfielder on the left-hand side, and he has been asked to take more risks, dribble more, shoot less often, get further forward, move into channels, and tackle harder. You have the golden role in the central midfielder on attack duty. This is the first time I'm actually trying out this role in FM 2023, and so far so good. It's been going well. Take more risks, dribble more, shoot less often, move into channels. This is something that is very important in FM 2023 because I noticed that the opposition's defense is quite solid at the back, and if you don't have somebody getting forward and breaking through those lines, you're going to struggle to try to create chances and create goals. So yeah, tackle harder as well. All attackers in this tactic are on attack duty. Starting from the inverted, the inside forward on the left hand side, he has been asked to shoot less often, sit narrower, and then tackle harder. The winger on the right is a winger on attack duty with shoot less often and tackle harder as well. Looking at the advanced forward instructions, take more risks, dribble more, shoot less often, and tackle harder are the instructions for him. You notice that in this tactic, I did not attach any set piece routine, so the tactic is just operating without any set pieces, or let's say the set pieces are set to default. So I kind of like it like that these days, instead of just locking it to one crossing area. We'll look at how to set up set pieces much later in a different video, so remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed so you can get notified when that video comes out. Okay, yes, team instructions. The team mentality for this tactic is positive, and then if you look at the in possession instructions, okay, I think I'm going to go all the way down to the out of possession instruction. I don't know why I like starting from out of possession. When you're out of possession, I think defense is very, very important. Out of possession is step up more. That's just the offside trap. I like to call this the offside trap instruction. Is asking your back line to step up when the opposition is trying to get in between the lines, just to cause that cause a situation where you're going to create an offside trap for them. So step up more is what it looks like. typically ask the defenders to step high up the pitch and therefore to compact the midfield in place. You notice that the offside trap instruction isn't in the out of possession phase, so I'm going to select this as the offside trap sort of instruction. We're also asking the team to prevent short goalkeeper distribution and press with much more often trigger press. By the way, mid game you're going to want to drop this a little bit. If you're actually in control of the game and then you don't really see the opposition coming back, you're going to want to drop it off and then, you know, allow the team to sort of take a breather. Now when they're in transition, counter press and counter has been selected, which also goes on to which is laying further emphasis on asking your team to kind of outpress the opposition, but remember to take them off when the team is getting tired, and because you don't want to constantly always keep pressing your players, are going to get tired and the AI will take advantage of that. So you remember to turn them off occasionally in the game to try and save your team's energy somehow. Also asking the goalkeeper to distribute to fullbacks and throw it long, because the defensive line is high. I think it's a standard defensive line too. Now for in possession instructions, not too many instructions as well. Higher tempo, very high, because I noticed that as much as a patient approach works in Football Manager 2023, you kind of want to also do things quickly. Sometimes when when you're playing against teams that are sitting too deep, you notice that passing all around them is not really going to help that much. So increasing the tempo helps with shorter passing, and walking the ball into the box is going to help you gain some control over how quickly you're running things. So like you can see, walk the ball into the box and low crosses as well. Also, this one is debatable. You can turn it up to mixed crosses or whipped crosses, depending on the height of your players and the speed of your attackers as well. But low crosses tends to work, so I kind of just left it there. So let's look at Antwerp and Birmingham now that we've reviewed the tactic and seen how it is. And the Belgium Cup, they got knocked out by Anderlecht. Anderlecht are one of the bigger sides as well. They got knocked out from the Europa Conference League by Villarreal in the quarterfinals, so they made it that far. Looking at the Jupiler League, this is pronounced Jupiler, right? Jupiler Pro League in Belgium, they went on to take first. They won the league, they're champions, and then they had a points total of 55 with a goal difference of 55 as well. The next team to them was Genk and Ghent, and they had 42 and 41 points respectively. Looking at the team stats in total, the most amount of goals came from Royal Antwerp with 93. Most possession, Antwerp actually racked up enough, that's in 4th place, but then their other teams actually played the possession-based style of game. Looking at the most points per game, Mechelen KV actually had 1.47. I don't understand how this is the case though. I think it's the way the league is sort of structured. But they're now in the championship phase, and then looking at the entire league division, okay, yeah, this makes more sense. They lost only 3 times in the league, Royal Antwerp, and then they drew 4 times. They won 27 of those games, scored 80 times, and then with a goal difference of 49. So perhaps that the championship phase is just a different phase in the league. I kind of like this. I should come to Belgium once in a while. Yes, Birmingham, we're here finally. Looking at the championship now, you can see the competition in the Sky Bet Championship, and then looking at the season preview, you'd see Birmingham City were predicted to finish in 15th place. At some point, at the start of the division, they were predicted to finish bottom of the league. I don't know why that was the case. It's actually why I also selected Birmingham, because I was curious as to why would Birmingham be predicted to finish last on the table? So if you're starting the game afresh, you'd notice that Birmingham City were predicted to finish in 24th place in the Sky Bet Championship. But they went on to take 10th in the league. They won 19 times, lost 15 times, and then drew 12 games. They had a sort of mid-season. That's why they kind of finished mid-table, were somewhere between 10th. So it wasn't that bad, and I think with the continuous approach with this tactic, they will go on to do well. If they go on to acquire good players on loan as well, they might go on to have a better season than they did. But for a team that was predicted to finish in the bottom of the league, they went on to finish 10th, and that's not actually bad at all. It's actually a successful season. So if you're looking to apply this tactic for your lower league teams, you might want to sign some good players, probably players on loan as well, to help you get good results. And a 10th place finish with the money that you're going to get from that as well is going to help you push up and then get more players and probably get promoted as soon as possible. Looking at the league stats in detail, Norwich went on to completely walk the league, and then they had the most points per game, most goals as well. But Birmingham City went on to have the most shots, so it shows that they were creating a lot of chances, but they didn't just have the quality to put most of those chances away. And if they did, they probably would have finished in a higher position in the league. Looking at the fewest shots against, the fewest shots against, Birmingham City went on to take 6, which is not far off the teams that were languishing in the top or winning the league and everything. So looking at the fewest conceded, Birmingham are in the picture as well, even though they went on to take 10th. Most shutouts, they're not going to be here. I think they conceded way too many goals. Looking at the most tackles, they're not also in this picture, so they didn't break people's legs, they didn't go around getting yellow cards and getting red cards and all this kind of stuff. Most possession, Birmingham is still there as well, so as much as they were the weakest team in the division, they did go on to hold possession of the ball in 8th place, 53%, not far off from Cardiff that went on to take first. So I'm going to attach a link in the description so you can download the tactic for yourself and test it out. It's the HG Fire 423. It's probably created by Knap for a previous Football Manager tactic as well. The format is slightly different now, but most of everything that is supposed to be there is there. So I'm going to attach the link in the description so you can download the tactic for yourself. And if you're new to the channel, remember to hit the subscribe button so you can get notified when new videos come out like this here on DarkHorse FM. I'll catch you guys much later with more Football Manager tactic videos and also hints and tip videos. Thanks for watching.